I have just gotten home from university and I am tired and just want to turn my brain off. Therefore, we're going to play some Biotopia. And we're actually starting off with a really nice piece. Look at that. We've got some tubbies and some snack munch on this piece. So I really want to decide the best place to put it. Not that it really matters at this point. We've got some grass. Ooh, lots more tubbies coming up. That's really good. The last few games I've played, I've been really short in the tubby department. Yeah, we can go there. It's a little awkward, but that's fine. Jeez. This is what I get. We're on the same demo version. The last few games I've played, I have had really bad scores because I just have not gotten the snacks that I needed. And now it's just like, hey, have all of the snacks. Okay. The trick now is to make sure that I don't accidentally die. And there's more snacks. What is this? This is the land of all of the snacks. Yeah. Okay. We've got some nice, good pieces like this. Now, one thing that I'm going to try and do in this game is I'm going to try to get large sections with extra bonus section tiles instead of small sections with extra bonus tiles. So that's 5. That's the kind of number we want to go for. I might try that instead just to see how that goes. I will go there though. And that's going to give me 5 and a nice opening here. I'll go there. There. Weird shaped bit of pond. We're just kind of accepting that. That's what we're doing. We're creating a weird pond just there. Oh, this is not... That's good. So, this is a little awkward because this one's already 37. So we'll probably have the first meadow here and a second meadow over here. I have no idea how we're going to go with this. See, that's already taking us over. There we go. That's our first meadow. And we're not going to place it yet, but hypothetically, we can put a nub here and get 3 tubbies, which is really satisfying. I'll probably stick it somewhere like this. Yeah, because a position like that leaves this one free, and I can put one nub here, and one nub over here somehow, maybe. And that will give us 2 nubs that I can then feed to a fox oat. We'll go there, I think. Okay, so this one is complete, so we now want to work on this meadow. We've still got a grass patch there, so we'll put that one in there. It's a little awkward, but we'll go for that. That little bit of water. Yes, this is just getting really awkwardly shaped. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But we'll just do whatever we get. This is pretty nice. Yeah, just go up like that. Some more snack munch. And I gotta decide whether I want to put that something like that, or maybe like that. Ooh, I know. Like that. And then I go and get this piece. I don't know what to do with this piece. Like that, I guess. So this is going to create a 3rd meadow, and this meadow is not going to get joined to this one. I'm just going to accept that, and whether or not that meadow becomes particularly big, we will wait and see. This pond is probably my best bet for size, but I will increase that one. Maybe like that, I think. Okay, we've only got 5 pieces left. That shouldn't be a problem. That's okay. So another one down here. I don't care. We're just gonna go like this because I need to start getting this done. Another piece for this. Hey, that's looking good. Okay. Unfortunately, that gives a hole of 6. So I don't really want to do that. I think I like that position. So that's a really big gamble, but I'm feeling in the mood to gamble lately. Go there. Another green one with water. Oh, look at that. That's already at size 36. That is not good. So we've got this one and this one coming up. So really I do want to join those two together. But somewhere where I'll be able to jump. Let's put it there. I have no idea what I'm doing today, in case you couldn't tell. I did say that my plan was to turn my brain off. Yeah, let's go like that. No, we'll go like that, I think. So this is a huge problem. This is way bigger than it should be. Yeah, that's just not good by any metric. That's not bad though. So I can put that one there, and then when that one comes up, I can put it in that space. And this is just a bunch of bad choices today. We are not doing well. And now I've said that, I'll do wonderfully. But we could put this one in there, which will take us to 48. Which is why I'm sitting here thinking, is that really what I want? And yeah, I think it is. And that gets us a leafy forest, which gets us the regal antlier, which is the most annoying of the antliers. And then I'm going to put this one in here somewhere. Look at that. But I really don't want to do it with that piece, because look at how many varied bits I get from that. But that could also be good. I've got that one coming up, but that's not going to cut it. There's a piece where I can get... See, that gets me to 40 with minimal switch pieces. Now, we're going to stick that there. And yeah, it's still a prickly forest, so it doesn't really matter. It will turn into a mixed forest quite soon, though. Let's see. Yeah, this is going to be a huge forest zone. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it finished. But we're going to try. Since we're going for a huge, probably unfinished forest zone, where would be the most beneficial place to put this? Yeah, let's put that there. For a huge unfinished forest zone. If we're lucky, the forest zone won't stay unfinished. But I know how my luck works. That is to say, it doesn't. Yeah, that'll do. So basically what I'm doing with these pieces is I'm working at closing the edge around this forest. So if we have a look in this mode, we can see where all of the edges are on this forest. So again, to enter this mode, I'm hitting spacebar to enter the inspect mode, and then I right click my way through the different things. So we've got biome inspect mode, which lets us see different biomes, how large they are, and where their edges are, which is all those little squares around the outside. We also have tile inspect zone, which tells us what each of the tile is. So this is grass with some sweet tubbies. This is trees that are prickly, and then we've got some prickly trees with some snack munch. If we look at the ones over here, we have a bunch of mixed trees, and over here we have leafy trees and leafy trees with snack munch. The important thing to remember about the trees, this mode is best for looking at trees and counting. So if you have, I have already forgotten, but if it is mostly one type of trees, either prickly or leafy, then it will become a prickly forest or a leafy forest. But when I join these two together, it'll then won't be majority one or the other, it'll then be a mixed forest. That's horrible. Yeah, we'll go like that anyway. So yeah, I could put that somewhere like that, but I think this... definitely don't want it to go there. Oh, it'll fit really nicely just there. Okay. I don't know if I'm talking less this time, so I'll probably be like quiet, and then suddenly remember that I'm supposed to be talking and talk a bunch. Look at that. That's the kind of thing I want. Is there a better position to put that in? Yeah. That's as good as it's gonna get. So that's my second meadow. So we've potentially got a third meadow down here, or over here maybe. Those two are both really close to 50, so chances are as soon as I join them, they'll be getting their last thing. Yeah, let's put that there. So we are closing off this prickly forest. I mean, we can put that there. That gets us the bog rank too. So let's have a look. We've got the chocolate nuts that came from our first forest and has this shape pattern. We've also got the meadow fox oat. Yeah, see, I'm probably going to want to put that here somewhere. These are some good spots for the meadow fox oat. We've got the rainwater frode. Oh, hey, that's not a bad position for the rainwater frode. The only reason I'm not placing this yet is because hopefully we'll be able to get a snurms. So that's the snaky type creature that eats the frodes. And that's all we've got so far. We've got 3 sections of pond. Let's work on getting those put together. And closing up that end. So we've got one more just there. I probably want to fill that in. No, I think I want that kind of shape. Ooh. And that kind of shape. It's a little awkward, not a great choice there. Specifically because ideally I want to join this grass to these grasses, and then this bog will be completely isolated. So I've got to decide between making this bog big and joining these grass together. It's just going to be like a little patch of soup, in the same way that this water isn't going to become anything. It's just kind of a little leftover piece, and I'm just going to let it be a little leftover piece most likely. There's nothing wrong with having little leftover pieces, I just don't like it because it's not optimum. And I'm here going, everything shall be perfect. But everything doesn't have to be perfect. When the lore finally drops, the Flisk knows that it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough. That said, we aim for perfection. That way, when we fall short of perfection, we've still done pretty good. Let's stick that as far away as possible. That little bit there. Okay. Oh, there we go. 2 4s with a single piece placement. The only way I could get that better is if I can jump over into that space, which I can't. So we'll call that it. This little one Oh, that sits there quite nicely. Now, the only reason I might not want to do this is I've got tubs there, so it might be worth joining these two together. But the point is, that tubby there is probably not going to see use, because the most I'm probably going to get is 3 nubs. I have had 4 nubs in one game. It was intense. I'm not getting 4 nubs in this game. I mean, I'm at level 7. I'm not getting 4 nubs in this game. Getting 4 nubs is very difficult because you get 2 fox oats on the way through, and then you want to be doing different things anyway. So I'm not going to be placing a nub down here, so I don't really care about that. It's a 9 grass total, and I've already got 8 over there. So yeah, we can just write those off, ignore them. Ooh, this one's tricky. I really kind of want to put it... So the reason I don't want to put it there is you end up with that hole. We've got that one coming, but does not sit in that hole nicely. Let's just stick it like that, I think. So what that does is I can put that piece in there, and then it's going to become long and skinny, which not really what I want. That one is not a bad choice for that position though, and we'll stick that one there. This one, I don't really care about. It'll go here quite nice, maybe? Yeah. Okay, this little meadow, look at that, a perfect 100. That gets us our second nub. So now we've got a licorice nub, which doesn't really sit very nicely, the chocolate nub, and a fox oat. Ideally, I want a third nub so that I can get one here somewhere, one here somewhere, and one here, which is all, like, you can see the scores of those going through. So that one's worth 245 there, 260. I won't be placing one here, but it is an option. The reason I won't place one there is because the fox oat's worth 100 points if I can get 2 nubs near it. So it's more valuable to me to put 2 nubs down. That piece will sit really nicely in that, just to fill in that hole so I can get some nice bits in, and then we'll focus on getting those 2 together to make a nice little nub zone. We will extend this water to try and close this, because if we can close the nub that would be zone, that would be really good. Yeah, so I do want it to sit. That's annoying. We'll put one there. Okay, we are probably going to have to place some animals, but that's fine, not a problem. They're actually looking pretty good. Put that one there. That's good. This piece is going to sit just there. Or there. There. So I'm going to put it here rather than actually down, because it gets me one more bonus tile. Okay, let's have a quick look at this. See, now the issue is, I think I'm going to want to put this one here for 215. It's losing 2. Nah, I want to wait to see if I can get that third nub. Oh. Ah! Good use of that space. Look at that. That is a really nice position. So I'll put that one there. Now the next thing I said I wanted to do with this is build out. Ah, that's beautiful. Okay. What's my best placement option here? Like that, I think. Just there gets me a extra full 5. Jeez, that's already 70 and that's 50. Yeah, I've definitely lost an opportunity. I really should be building a third forest, and I just haven't been. The more I think about it, the less I like that keep them separate then join them together aspect. I think that I would rather build a forest and just get the points as it levels up than get points from joining them together. I'm not sure, it's just kind of how I feel the more I do it. Like, I dislike that I'm basically, by having this be a 70 instead of a 40 and a 30, I'm throwing away a... I've forgotten what it's called. I want to say... Yeah, I've forgotten what they're called. I'll get one when I join the two of them together. Okay, we will put that one like that. I mean, that's actually a mixed wood all by itself. So I could try and get that to size 40. But it's a little awkward. I'm at a wrong stage in the game to try and make that attempt. Oh, look at that. So this grassland of size 110 just has that edge left to go. So I should be able to close that off, and that'll be worth a lot of points when it's closed off. Since these water zones aren't really doing much for me anymore, we'll start adding water to this one to try and make a fisk zone. Go there. That's frustrating. It's the wrong shape. I'm going to need to get some to go there. I mean, I could focus on making that bigger, but no. Let's go there. There you go, there's the rank 3. Hawk, that's what it's called. You watch me just forget what everything's called. So the ruffled hawk is going to want to sit up there. And then I can stick... It's frustrating. I'd love to have a second ruffed hawk to stick just here, but with the current setup, I'm not going to get it. That's fine. That's good. Yeah, let's go there. Look at that. That's satisfying. Okay. Continue building out this. So we're closing this off so it doesn't get in the way. Oh, finally. There we go. That's that stupid piece of lake dealt with. We should be able to close this off quite quickly now. We can go there. So if we have a quick look here, our only empty area is that hole in the middle and that hole just there. Might as well put that there. Feels good. Now, we got a choice. We can put this here, which will get us the fisk. We don't really have a good fisk zone yet. Or we can stick it there. Ah, yep. Let's see what we got. It is the scruffed hawk. Beautiful. Look at that. That's perfect. We're placing that now. That is a beautiful scruffed hawk. Okay, we only need just over 250 points. I'm sure we had something that we could get for 250. And I think it was this friend. Nope, 245. Okay, we'll place that one. I'm actually thinking I'm going to want to put this deer here somewhere. It doesn't really have a good zone. We're not placing this deer yet. We could also put it here. I don't want to put it here though, because they're going to be rabbits getting in the way. That's really a position for a hawk. So somewhere like that, but then it comes down to whether or not I don't think that's in range. It depends on whether I have an wolf I'm going to need a place. Let's put the rainwater road in, because that's a lot of points and it doesn't look like we're going to have any issues. getting in the way of it. Go there. Now this is a choice. I can decide whether I want to continue making this bigger or whether I want to gamble on getting a second one. We're going to gamble on getting a second one because I don't see why not. In the same way that this is... Usually you can get... when getting to level 10 you can usually get 2 bulks. Not always, but it's pretty reliable. Let's have a look at how our Fisk is going. Yeah, we don't have a great Fisk zone, but I mean, 20 out of 21 on this Fisk placement, that's pretty good. So our objective is at the moment is finishing this forest, which just means putting a couple forest tiles that have forests and nothing else on them in this space, and potentially getting these meadows joined up so that we can get another nub, finishing this bulk, and then after that it's just kind of getting the points. So putting this forest together, putting this grassland together, and maybe closing off this bulk. We'll see if we can close off 3 things. Unfortunately, this doesn't insert in the right direction, so we'll just stick it up here. That was definitely not a good placement. This one also won't insert. We are creating a really weird shaped swamp? It's currently a swamp. This one is a swamp. If only I could get it to size 100. I definitely cannot get it to size 100. Okay. That seems like a good place. This is closed. So... No. There. Or there. Go there. So we can go there for 3, but I think I'd rather go there. That to join those up. Look at that! Isn't that beautiful? So, not only am I getting 9 bonus tiles from this placement, I'm also closing up a forest of humongous size. So this is one of the things that was glitching earlier. I don't think it's glitching anymore, but we will have a look as we watch it happen. So at the moment there is no border around here. We can see over here there's 2 things that do have borders around the outside of them. When we finish this one up, we can see it's now got that dark border around it. There was some issues with that earlier. I'm not quite sure what was happening with them, but I'm pretty sure they've been fixed in this version of the game. But we will keep an eye on that, because we know this one has been completed. It didn't make it to size 200, but it's 160 tiles. That's a lot of points. Okay, continuing, building these little zones. We've got a second forest zone we're building over here. I don't know, we probably won't get big enough to score any points with it, but hey, we might get lucky. We're not going to be worrying about where these tubbies go, because we've already got those tubbies we can have advantage on. That'll go. I think we'll go. No, that was good. Like that. This bit like that. That gets us 5 extra bonus tiles. Like that. Some more forest. Something. You know, I actually kind of like. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. If I could go maybe. Yeah, let's do that. So basically what I've done here is I've created a L shape here, so I can potentially get bonus tiles there. I've joined the water together, and these 2 can still get connected by bridging across this space here. I don't know how effective it'll be, but I figure it's worth a shot. We're gonna go there. That's definitely just not useful, but I don't really care. Yeah. Look at that, we're up to 35 already, so we should be getting another nub off of that pretty soon. We can go like that. Jeez. And now I just get all of them. You don't understand how few of the snack munch I was getting the last run through. I am a victim of the RNG. But that's fine. Today, the RNG is being kind. Go there. And we'll go there. And that gets our next nub. Hey! It's caramel. This is really cool. The last few times when I've gotten 2 nubs, it's either been 2 chocolate or 2 caramel. So we'll have a quick look here. We know that when we get our first grassy, we either get a caramel or a chocolate. So we can now have a quick look and compare those. So our chocolate is this shape. We can see it's got the 3 up there on the... Yes, I did just stop and stare at my right hand while trying to remember which one was my right and which one was my left. We've got those 3 extra tiles up on the right. And if we have a look at the caramel nub, in the same orientation with those 3 at the top, they're actually on the left, which means I can do different kinds of shape, which sits quite nicely. I think I like the chocolate better. And then the licorice is the T shape. So, we can think about where we want to sit that. We might want to sit the licorice one all the way up here. And then our fox oat is going to sit probably... Yeah, let's put this fox oat in now. So the fox oat's going to go there. So the reason I put the fox oat there is because it's got a full zone of grass. It gets 3 points for every grass in its area. Oh, look at that. We can see we've got... Was that always like that? Watch me as updates occur in this game and I'm like, was that always there? We can see that we've got 37 grass tiles and no swamp tiles. And if we look at that shape, we can see that every single section in that shape has a grass tile in it. So that is the best tile placement you can get for a fox oat. After that, we just want to get as many small prey in the zone as possible. We get 10 points per small prey, with a bonus if we can get 2. So all we really care about is getting 2 small prey in area with the fox oat. So we will then have a look at, we can, I reckon, so we can either have the caramel nub like that, or we can have this one like that. Which I think I like that one better. If we change our mind, we can use the undo button just there, but it'll only undo 1 move. So now let's have a look and see what kind of position I can get. Yeah, see I'm down 1. That makes me down 2. But that's still pretty good. That's 17 out of 18. So, and it's in range of our fox oat, which is exactly what we wanted. So if we have a look at our fox oat, we can see that we're getting 20 points from having nubs and 100 bonus points from having 2 small prey. Look at that orientation. That's beautiful. We have now reached max level by placing those, which means we're going to see the end of the game. That's it. There's nothing much more we can do. We can stick that one there. So now our objective is... So this is the animal inspect mode. We can have a look at our animals. And back to our biome inspect mode. So yeah, I want to try and get this one up to size 40. That'll give us a snurm, which will eat the fro. And maybe get that up. Otherwise, I just want to close this, which is a little tricky now. Specifically, the reason that's going to be a little tricky... Oh, there we go. Look at that. Yeah. So, technically, the best placement... is there. That's technically the best placement. Let's go with that one. So the reason I haven't gone with the best placement is because I'm thinking about what happens in the future. Basically, how am I going to close this off? So we're going to be using the grass pieces to attempt to completely surround this. We're still using these over here. That. Grass pieces are not in use anywhere. I am just using them to close this. That is not helpful. Let's stick this up here. There we go. So we got the full 5 and we got a good shape to close with. We're going to keep building this out. Doesn't look good. Oh, so we can have a look. We have the linen 2 snurms. And that's a little annoying. 1 short of perfect there. But look at that. 261 points for that. Beautiful. Our Fisk is still... we could stick it... there's probably the best space. So if I can get 3 more bits of water, our nub is also probably going to go like that. But we might move the nub depending on where we want the deer. I also... no, I want this water to close this area. And this is being used to close this one. This is being used to join these 2 together. This is still building out this zone. We've got 12 pieces left. I am being too ambitious and I can feel it. I can feel myself being too ambitious. We might actually get the second swamp. It is a weird vibe to feel yourself being too ambitious. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that. 37. I only need 3 more bits of forest to get the ulf. Yeah, I like that. There we go. That is our ulf. So now we need to think about where I can place this ulf to ensure that it gets too large prey. So I can put it somewhere near this one or someone near this one. Technically I could also put it somewhere up here, but this is the degree to which this is not worth it. I cannot express, which is always a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. So to do that, I'm going to be wanting to put this somewhere. And it's not there. It's not getting enough grass. It needs to get 3 grass. I could put it there, but that is so not worth it. Ultimately, I can put it somewhere like that. I'm not sure whether that's in range. That's an option. 178. Let's have a look at the ulf. Oh, look at that! I can put the ulf there. And then I can put this one there. Look at that. So, this one is getting its full points. 2 lots of 50 bonus points plus 908 points. So that's 108 points. Sorry, 198 points for that one. And our Greybone Ulf. Beautiful. So you can see that we end up with these like little clusters where we've got a Meadow Foxote with 2 prey and the Greybone Ulf with 2 prey. Thankfully our Snurm only needs 1 prey, but if we can get it 2, we might get it 2 just because we can. Look at that. Ooh, it's the other one. It's the Weeping Tree Frog. So we're going to want to put the Weeping Tree Frog up here, I think. Yeah, that'll be the best place for it. Yeah, we've got a full slide. Yeah. No reason not to drop that in now. Oh, we're not doing too badly. We've only got 5 pieces left though. So all of our forest animals have been dropped in, and that only has 2 tiles left. Yep. We're dropping this one here to close it. An extra 520 points for closing that. 900. So my high score at the moment is 9,598, and we're already at 9,101. I'm good at maths. I'm not good at speaking numbers. That won't go there, but it will go This one will join those two together. But I'm not sure if I want to do that because that gets me to 95 and I want to get to 100. Oh, wait, doesn't mind. It's not possible. We've got 3 pieces left. These are my last 3 pieces. So all I care about is what's the most points I can get from these 4 pieces. So... nothing will close those 2 holes there. None of those pieces... that's a lie. I can put that one in there. And then I can put that one in there. Yeah, no, I can't close this zone. I don't have enough pieces. Definitely can't close those 2. Definitely can't close that one. 1, 2... definitely can't close that one. Yeah, there's not really much I can do with these. Yeah, I really dislike it when this happens. I have got a few forest pieces. I'm not getting anywhere with the lake. So... 24 points for there, 28 points for there. 17 points for there. 25 points for that? Jeez. 24 points. Yeah, I think we are going to go with this one. So it's only getting me 17 points, which is the points for the piece itself, which is 16 points. No matter where I put this, it'll get 16, and then it's giving me +1 for there. However, what it does let me do is that move. Gets me 2 extra bonus tiles. And I might... no, that one's no good. No. We'll just go there. This nice little one, I don't think I'm going to be able to do anything very interesting with this piece. Yeah. Nothing very much I can do with this one. So... just stick it somewhere that gets me 10 points. Just go there. That's actually a really nice placement. Okay, we've only got 3 animals left to place. So first up our licorice nub, which we carefully planned. It's got this beautiful spot here for 245 points. And then we've got our snurms, which also has a beautiful placement for 260 points. We can't do any better than 260, unfortunately. And I've broken my high score! We have a new high score. And finally, the Fisk, which unfortunately, even if it was a perfect Fisk, which it's not going to be perfect, it's 5 points short of perfect, it would not be enough to get us over the 10,000, which is my goal at the moment. But 9,904 points. I'm really happy with this landscape. We closed this mixed forest and this grassland, which is where a lot of our points came from. And then on top of that, we've got this set and this one. We probably would have done better if we had this one be another ruffled hawk rather than a regal antler, which we could have put, there's 2 there or 2 there, which would have probably gotten us another 240 points kind of region, as opposed to this one, which was only 206 points, so it would have only been another 40 points tops for that switch, but it would have been a couple more points there. It was theoretically possible to get another, no, because the next thing on the list is the next thing we'd get is a meadow foxote, and that foxote would not be able to get its 100 bonus points. And that really inhibits the number of points it can be worth. Um, it can still be worth a fair few points, but it's nowhere near as many as you'd like. This fox oak did really, really well. Fisk are never worth that many points. We did lose maybe 2 Fisk some games, so we've got little patches of water everywhere. So we've got a bunch of little patches up here, a bunch of little patches over here, a bunch of little patches over here, and a patch of size 20 here. So we didn't actually get much water in this game. But I could maybe have gotten one more Fisk, but that would have only been another 150 points, which is not really making a huge difference. Not getting these two joined together, that was a shame. That would have gotten us another 200 points. I might have stuck it over here. You can see there's a couple of, there's 2 and 1 there. So I could have put it over here for quite a few points. But that's fine. But yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with this landscape. I'm happy with how it turned out. So, yeah. What do you think? Thank you for watching.